Greet you all. Welcome to this special broadcast. God bless you all. We're talking about matters that are rising now in the east, in Igbo land. Pay attention and watch this till the end. We'll just have a few minutes to discuss, and then we are talking about Nnamdi Kanu. We are talking about coming together in the east, in the southeast, to really achieve our own, how to show love and get our own right now. It's obvious that if you check what is happening, you see that the marginalization of Ndi is increasing by the day. For instance, check all the roads, the railroad. Now they have the one they call coastal roads, and the sideline, the southeast, to go from Lagos to Calabar. The other one, the sideline, the southeast, built rail to the north, far north, and everything. Even the painful aspect of it is that, do you know that the railway line, the old one, even in the southeast, they have removed the rail, and each time they keep on promising the Igbo nation that they are going to do. It will take years. After politics, during political campaign, they begin to talk about how to they begin to use Igbo people or Igbo nation to make their campaign promises, and after election, they sideline the southeast. It is painful. If you are Igbo, and if you're an Igbo man and you're not talking about how to finding a way to release Nnamdi Kanu, there's something is just wrong, and it is not good at all. Nnamdi Kanu, everybody, he opened everybody's eye, said all things, and everything that Nnamdi Kanu exposed is what is happening in Nigeria now, from how people with their plan and all that, especially how they have marginalized the Igbo nation. It is wrong if you are not talking about the release, or if you know something or somebody that knows somebody that can do or can help, and the release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you are not doing that, then it is totally wrong. What we are saying is that why should some Igbo people allow themselves to be used against themselves? For instance, Omahiku against Peter Obi, just because Peter Obi said the obvious, and Peter Obi trying to iji Peter Obi, chịkọta Peter Obi isi ọnụ ya na ndị obodo ndị ọzọ. So my people, my message today is that we should never ever forget Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We will continue to ask for his release till he is released. Let us wake up and begin to ask Nnamdi Kanu, the freedom for Nnamdi Kanu. Freedom for Nnamdi Kanu, no matter how it is, we won't. Then Juba, why? And AJ use some Igbos. He has small okwa, he use here against themselves. Like he go mine Kugide Peter Obi. Nakana Peter Obi Kuruna, he had name Moza Hacholekwa. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. Obu ihe kwesịrị na-eme ugbu a, na ihe niile ka eji the contract, the woro ya ma the contract, the woro ya ma ka esi the contract, the woro ya ma ihe niile na ezo. But come to think of it, the ihe a na-akwarisi na ihe niile a na-akwarisi, the major target ebe a nọgide na-akwarisi na major people were the kind of place bụ Nwafọ Igbo can use Emenka. But the painful aspect of it, more painful, is that the road on Coastal Road is from Lagos. Then Sizie from, do you know that it is even cheaper and straight to come there straight from the east to Calabar. No, but they didn't do that. Abakole, Sije na Warri, Sina Delta, ne ba Azo, Nib. The same thing ka ha mere na rail. Now, the okporo ụzọ dị n'ala Igbo, okporo rail, the old ones, ndị ọcha tinyere kemgbe, mgbe ha tinyere ya, ha bego remove the rail line. So you got after anything like a railway in an Igbo now. You got after anything like an Igbo. So this can be clearly systematically marginalized and pushed aside. But they will pick, actually during the election, they pick one or two people. God naturally they are honest to do their bidding against the Igbo people. Somebody a prominent Igbo man, for somebody with that mind. Can say that Obi is inciting Igbo against Oyera Church. Why should somebody why the same people on that kind of place that have belief that they can talk to the president are not speaking. They are not going for a release of Mazen and they can. But during the election now, the campaign now, focus some of them that the Hane Menka, Hane Jenka, for even Mohanese, Manot, visit, Nagi visit, they will have votes. Guinea name. I thank you. I thank you, Kusi. Thank you so much. Thank you. And share the video and let us continue to discuss about this video. Thank you all for those of you that are watching from wherever you are watching. I thank you all. Rightish Mishra. Thank you very much. Yes, how to deal with corruption. The only way to deal with corruption in our place is to make sure that we vote the right people in power. And after vote the right people in power, the citizens should also monitor those that they put in power. Make sure that they follow the judicial process in checkmating everybody, in checkmating those in power, in checkmating those people that have voted to lead them. But those things are not happening. So we are talking that there are clearly that the marginalization about the Eastern people, is very, very clear. No road. They want to do any project, they'll sideline the Easterners. They want to do the other one. They want to call it coastal road or even railway. They sideline the East. When are they going to bring the Igbo people to the center? When are they going to bring the Igbo people in the center of this thing? Richish Mishra, I see your comment. You say you're asking why some countries like Nigeria and Kenya developed, but not other countries in Sudan, like Sudan and Congo. Well, it depends on what we call development anyway. Some of us in Nigeria feel that Nigeria is not developing at the pace that it's supposed to develop. We feel that Nigeria is not really developed. That if we measure with the measure of the kind of resources, natural endowment that we have, that what if we use it judiciously, Nigeria would have been developed, much more than the way it is now. For instance, we don't have any major industry that some of the industry that were companies that were in Nigeria had left Nigeria. Because why? Because of corruption, because of poor electricity, poor road, and poor management of our resources. So Nigeria is large. Nigeria is supposed to be developing, but truly, Nigeria is not developing with the measure of enormous and abundance, so much resources that we have. That is why we in Nigeria feel that our leaders are not to, because some of our resources, they take our money sometimes. Some of them siphon the money outside, to take the money outside the country. No good, and no good, not really good development. The system is not, the electricity is poor. Most companies are not, with no production company is really well. That is why some of them left. So, well, it depends on what you mean by development. Yes, we have the human and other resources, but we are not just there. If we use our resources judiciously for Nigeria, by Nigerians, we will begin to produce a lot of things. Our country would have developed. If we use what we have in Nigeria, the natural resources we have in Nigeria, use it judiciously, Nigeria would have developed much more than the way it is now. So I don't really think that Nigeria and Kenya are developed to that extent, because if you check, you will discover that the problem of Nigeria is the problem of most of the African countries. In fact, the most African countries are, I think they have a lot of challenge, because they are influenced by the people that we call developed country. Africans are not really developing the way they should develop, because most of the leaders are selfish, and they are not using the resources in Africa, the natural endowment in Africa. They're not using it for Africans. They're not using it to develop Africans. But we are talking about Nigeria, especially the southeast, eastern Nigeria. In Nigeria, that region is marginalized by other regions. For instance, it is only the region that has not really produced democratically elected president. It's only that region, and every other region, most Nigerians thought that the last election would have should have brought an southeastern as a president, but hey, it did not happen. It did not happen. No, we don't, Priyanka, we don't hate Europe. We are talking about our leaders. It is not the Europeans. It is not their fault. It is nothing, because if our leaders do what they are supposed to do, the world will be the best place for us. The Europeans, our people, our leaders in Africa, we don't know what is really wrong with them. They're not looking inwards. They're not using our resources to develop our place. They're not doing what they should do. For instance, some of them may come to power and still take our resources, take our money, go to Europe and build a lot of things there, live there. Is it not shocking that our leaders don't build or don't finance our hospital or develop our hospital to the extent that they can also be treated in our hospitals? Most of them go to Europe and outside Africa to treat themselves. Is it not an irony? Is it not an irony? So who should we blame? Yeah, we blame our leaders, not the Europeans. So we are blaming our leaders for not doing what they are supposed to do. That is exactly what we are saying. So it is not the fault of anybody. We don't know why our leaders are doing what they are doing, why they are thinking the way they are thinking, the way they are reasoning. It is not. It is painful. it is painful. So I thank you for your questions. Those of you that are asking questions, I thank you so very much for your questions. What if there was no colonism in Africa? Yes, if we would have developed in our pace, we were before the people came to colonize Africa. We discovered oil, we discovered iron ore from our ground. We were using our soil, even without cement, to build our houses. Our forefathers discovered that. We were doing this, what we now call goldsmiths. We were doing a lot of things, doing researches. In fact, it is said that during Biafran and Nigeria conflict, the Biafrans developed a lot of things that they used to defend themselves. So we were moving at our pace, using the resources in our places. We were developing a lot of things. In fact, we developed our own clothes using the wool from our tree that we produced from our tree. We found our own food, our own natural food. We did a lot of things. We were developing at our pace. We were using our local roots and herb to treat our women. We had midwives. We had our local midwives. We were just moving, going, going as the day, with living with and developing ourselves with our natural resources, and it was working for us. And those days, our people were living healthier, and living longer life. So we had our people, our forefathers used the experience. They discovered a lot of things. They discovered our food, what we were eating. They discovered some kind of technology, the kind of houses we were building. We were using clay sand to build house, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. What we were using during those days, before they came to colonize Africa, were basically what we found in our environment, and it was good for us. So really, we were moving, we were developing before they came, and they just saw the natural endowment, the resources, what we had, and brainwashed us. In fact, they brainwashed our forefathers using their religion and mirror and some kind of trickish way to brainwash our people. And since then, it's been difficult for us, some of our forefathers, or some people, some Africans, to look inwards. In fact, they came and introduced their kind of education, even though we had our own way of learning them, that our forefather taught us. In fact, we had our own learning. Those days, if a child is growing up, we would take the child to somebody who had practical trades, who were doing, those people that were doing what they were doing, for our children to learn from them. We had our own way of our education. We had our own way of research. We were doing a lot of things before people came and introduced their kind of education, introduced their religion, and African men became lazy and turned away from their originality and faced the foreigners. And that since then, now we had our own way of administrative process. They introduced their own way. The people that colonized us used their system, their law system, their judicial system. They introduced it to Africa, and we abandoned our own judiciary and administrative process and followed their own. Since then, it's been a lot of confusion everywhere. So, Ritish Mishra, you are saying that you think Africans are little kind, so that is why they suffered a lot. Great, I agree with you. I agree with you, because we accepted and welcomed them with love, with open mind. with all sincerity, and we lost guard, and then came to our forefathers and tricked them. In fact, we opened our doors wide for them, accepted everything, thought that they came to really with the same love, not knowing that they tricked our forefathers. The fact introduced for them to sell their. Again, you see, is fluctuating. The network here is not. Network is really, you see, that is what we're saying. But I thank you sincerely, British Mishra. Thank you for your questions and your comments. And you are saying Europeans are more cunning. Great, you are right. And you are also saying that, and can you share some personal incidents of your family, what your family suffered during colonialism? Yes, personal experiences. When they tricked my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they tricked him and took him to a church and brainwashed him, saying that the name, the traditional name, his original name was not good enough for him. They changed his name in the name of baptism to Jacob. And from then on, all the spirituality, because my forefather, my great-grandfathers they were all from their lineage were chief priests. They were chief priests of our place. So they tricked him, knowing that if they trick him, the other followers, the other people that are into our religious tradition and culture and spiritualism will follow him. So they took our forefather through the women, of course, the mother, our sisters, and all that. They introduced religion, took away his title, and gave him Bible, changed his name in the name of baptism. And since then, so many things began to happen. Confusion came, and somehow, because we are from that lineage, my forefathers were very, very strong. He had to somehow recollected his senses and came back, returned to his way of spiritualism and way of worshiping his God and all that. Never dropped the Jacob. It was difficult then to drop that Jacob, and that also made his belief. They watered down our spiritualism. So that is one of our experience. There are so many I can share if you continue. So many that I can share. But the very first one is when they came, they'll pick the strong or the leaders of our leaders through women. They pick them. Any man that is outspoken, then will be picked to they'll take the person, negotiate with the person, and give the person title and promise to give him a kind of title, the one they call chief now, and make the person kind of a controller of a particular community where he's from. So they now use that person to brainwash others. So that is exactly what's happened, how they treat our forefathers. They treat them so to live whatever, because they saw peaceful and sacred land where people were really doing good, doing well, and with the resources around them. They saw a lot of things and treat our people with their religion and with their education, so kind called education, started changing our forefathers' name. They changed their names. They changed their language. Now, if you find some of our children now find it difficult to communicate in our dialect, that is one of the problems. They could choose everything that was pressed to us and treat our people like that. But we are coming back to it. So our children now are coming back. Some of us are doing our best to bring our people back so that they can look inwards and live good life. And Priyanka Siai, you are saying there's slave trade in your village during colonialism. Well, yeah. Yes, it happened because the one they call states now, our region particularly, people came, traded, and if you check, some of our people can be traced. I'm from southeast, the Igbo part of Nigeria. If you go to some part of the world, you'll begin to see some of some black people, some Igbo people who are even in America today. Some of them are tracing their lineage gradually. It happened. Slave trade happened then, and that is the truth. And it happened in so many other African countries. So it really happened. But it is in our region. That is why Igbo man says that it's originally created by God. You can't get any other place dominated, or Igbos can say they come from. If anywhere you hear that Igbo man is or living, it means that person actually originally moved from the Igbo nation, from southeast Nigeria to that place, near another place. Unlike some other people where you have some of them settled in so many other parts of the world. This southeast is the only place that the Igbo man or the Igbo people settled originally over 500,000 years before even before this colonialism started. So we've been living here longer before the people came. So that is that. Please, we are talking about our hero. Anybody will not forget our people. I will not forget Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of Biafrans, who being held. All the courts, most of the courts released him, but they are still holding him. We are asking people all over the world to help us talk to the government of Nigeria to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from that. I thank you all for watching and for staying here. Glitches because of the internet. We apologize. It is Nigeria. Most of the things that we have difficult. Electricity is difficult to access. Internet is difficult to access, and even fuel that God gave us, petroleum, is difficult to even get from here. Okay, for instance, how can a country that has oil, petroleum, take the petroleum to another country to refine and import it back to their country? That is, can people begin to imagine the kind of mentality of leadership of Africans? we have petroleum in our place. We take the crude. We take the crude to another country to refine. When the was going on, they built, or even immediately they left, they built refineries about for crude oil. They refused to. So network is really, but in summary, sorry, we'll have to continue some other day because network is really getting bad now. But what was said, please video share and let us continue to discuss about way forward for Africans, especially in Southeast Nigeria, how we can unite and develop ourselves and love ourselves. But especially, we are asking for release of Mazi, and we ask everybody to join us to ask, we're going to ask the Nigerian government to please release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and all the politicians, all Igbo leaders, please let us come together, unite and say that we love ourselves and develop our place. Before the network, before the break in transmission, I said something about Nigerian leaders taking our crude oil to another country to refine and export and import into Nigeria. Why? The question is, why are they not refining our oil in Nigeria? Why are they not giving license to individuals to refine our oil in Nigeria? Why are they not opening what? So another break in transmission. So, but we'll continue. Please, Nigerian government, let us. Thank you so much. Those that send their comments and questions, God bless you all. Through these questions all the time, share the video and please subscribe to One African TV, and we'll continue to discuss this. God bless Africa, God bless Nigeria, God bless the Igbo nation, God bless us all. God give us peace, understanding and wisdom to prosper and develop ourselves and develop our nation. Bye-bye.